Here. Yes, we request you to invite the Cabinet Secretary to give his remark.
No, you know what? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, my dear. And now I have the pleasure to invite the Cabinet Secretary, my dear friend, Moses Kuria, please.
My good friend, John Humphrey, the Commissioner of Trade for His Majesty, the King, my good friend Alex Mioli, my mentor and my friend, Governor of Kisumu County, Professor Nyang'o, High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Manoa Esipisu. I also have a lot of colleagues from Kenyan government, principal secretaries and CEOs and chairmen of the various state corporations that we have in Kenya. I am delighted to be here today. First of all, to witness this very historic signing of this agreement between United Green and the county government of Kisumu. As you know, United Green is a UK company, is a United Kingdom company. Back home, Kisumu is also known as United Kisumu. So today is a marriage of the UK and the UK, the United Kingdom and United Kisumu. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Governor Nyong'o, United Green. It's been quite a journey. We had the initial discussions centered around Nome Barastia, when Secretary of State James Cleverly was in Nairobi, and we promised ourselves to get this done and dusted before Q1 of 2023, and here we are. So clap for us, please. Thank you very much. In addition to this signing ceremony today for Kenya shillings, that's 1 billion shillings investment, we were also here with my delegation for the first ever review of the economic partnership agreement between Kenya and the United Kingdom. This agreement was signed 2 years ago on the onset of Brexit, and we found ourselves in that situation whereby we did not know what to do, and Kenya had to take that very exceptional step with the United Kingdom to sign an economic partnership agreement for no other reason but to safeguard our very important and historic market, that is the UK. And we are pleased that that review went on very well yesterday. My counterpart, the Secretary of State for Business and Trade, Kemi, and Nigel, the State Minister for Trade, we had a review of the issues that have come up since the EPA was signed 2 years ago. We were able to unlock quite some few challenges that are coming up, both in terms of tariffs and non-tariffs, and I can say that the trade relationship between Kenya and the United Kingdom is right on course. Over the next few months and coming years, we are going to continue these continuous engagements to unlock the issues that are emerging, not only on the issues that were signed 2 years ago, but also to broaden, as indeed the Trade Commissioner has said, on issues that we are yet to touch on, issues of digital trade, issues of trade in services, issues of sustainability, and all other topics that we agreed to broaden this scope to be able to cover. So once again, thank you very much. And I want to say also that other than the trade relations between Kenya and the UK, Kenya is also a very important destination for UK investment. Or let me put it the other way around. The UK is a very important source of foreign direct investment in Kenya, and we take that very seriously, as indeed witnessed today by the signing of this agreement between United Green and the county government of Kisumu. We have a couple of joint investment initiatives first of all, that are being driven by our two respective governments. As mentioned before, our Secretary of State, James Cleverly, was in Nairobi in November. We did conduct the launching, or the President William Ruto officiated with James Cleverly, the groundbreaking on the Railway City project, a very important, iconic project that is going to help us in terms of transportation, urban housing, and indeed the whole space of urban development. We also have a number of other initiatives other than this one we are signing today in the area of renewables, Menengai geothermal, which is again a shared project between Kenya government and the UK government, the Ramu solar project. We have got the Highland Grand Falls irrigation project in Kenya that is going to assist us also in terms of food security and self-reliance in terms of food supply. All these are very, very important topics and very important areas where the Kenyan government and the UK government are working together. But we are not limiting it to only government-to-government relations. On a business-to-business level, we are also witnessing a lot of cooperation between Kenyan companies and UK companies. Top on the list is on the issue of renewables, a lot of interest there, financial services, and we are in the, when I'm here in the city of London, as an old hand who grew professionally in this city, working for Standard Chartered Bank in my formative years, I feel like I'm on a pilgrimage. And, you know, the city of London has distinguished itself as really the place to be for financial services. And we are working together between Kenyan companies and the UK companies, Kenya government and UK government, especially on the setup of the Nairobi International Financial Center, which we don't want to say that is going to rival Canary Wharf, but is going to be the next big thing after Canary Wharf. That is what we are creating in Nairobi. And we look forward to welcoming UK companies to set up base in the Nairobi International Financial Center. Kenya is a market leader in terms of digital transformation, a lot of growth in our fintech businesses, startups, lots of interest really from private equity, both from US, from Europe, and right here from in the UK, in the GCC countries as well. And again, this is going to continue to be an area of growth and an area of mutual interest between Kenyan businesses and UK businesses. So our relationship is strong, it's solid. We have covered a lot, but the most important thing is that we are yet to scratch the surface, both in terms of trade. Our current bilateral trade between Kenya and the United Kingdom now stands at 1.1 billion sterling pounds, slightly favoring the Kenyan side, but that is not even what is worth talking about. It does not matter who it's favoring and who is not favoring. What matters is we still have a lot of potential for growth and for expanding our trade relationship. But most importantly is that we have a lot of potential for growth in terms of our exchange of investment. And we are going to work together, the Kenyan government and the UK government, to continue facilitating you and making it easier for you and your businesses to set up in Kenya. And hopefully, in the fullness of time, also to see Kenyan businesses expanding and investing here in the UK. We are now in the course of refurbishing and revitalizing our one-stop center at the Kenya Investment Authority, whereby we hope that all of you UK companies and businesses who are either operating in Kenya or are coming into Kenya for the first time, you do not need to get harassed from left and right, from this office to that office. The Kenya Investment Authority, which comes under my purview, is going to be your single port of call. Whether you are talking about issues to do with tax and KRA at the Kenya Revenue Authority, we are talking about power, whether you're talking about water, we're talking about the licensing regimes, the local authorities, you do not need to go to all those places. Once you come to the Kenya Investment Authority, we are going to take up the rest for you and actually being able to take that burden from you. because we are serious and we are open for business. And we mean it, we mean it. We really want your investment and we want your business. And it is not by accident that we are having this very aggressive pursuit of investment, especially from the UK. We are grappling with several realities, macroeconomic realities. Over the last few years, the contribution of exports or the export as a ratio of GDP has dropped from 28% to as low as 10%. So we want to use investment as a means of also boosting exports and reigniting our exports. And also while doing that, make exports to be more inclusive, not just a preserve or some few people who can be able to access the UK market. This morning at 5 a.m. in the morning, I was in the wholesale fresh produce market here in London. And really what I saw there, I saw a lot of wonderful things, but I did not see rocket science. I did not see something that our SMEs and the people at the bottom of the pyramid in Kenya cannot be able to undertake. So we look forward to working together, not only to increase the trade between Kenya and the United Kingdom, but also to make that opportunity to be inclusive, to include people from, a place called Kitimikai, near where Governor Nyong'o comes from in Seme, and ensure that that person from Kitimikai can actually be able to export all the way to that market, wonderful market that I saw this morning. It is possible and it's doable because even as we look at the overall trade volumes and trade statistics, we have a social justice obligation to ensure that our growth is inclusive and to ensure that the opportunities that are presented by our respective markets also benefit people at the bottom of the pyramid and people who have been cut off. What the governor has talked about, the mischief of peasants, agriculture, and whereby we leave our peasant farmers to toil in the farms and the benefits go to a few people. So we want to attack it from all levels, from macro level, from big people who export into those markets to the SMEs, and all this presents opportunity for real growth and to take off together. Another area of possible collaboration is on the area of manufacturing and value addition. And again, for the right reasons, the contribution of manufacturing to GDP over the last few years has dropped from 9% to 7%. And our government, the William Ruto government, has got an objective that we've undertaken to ourselves to increase that contribution to 15% by the year 2027 and to 20% by 2030. That cannot come if it's not driven by your investments in agriculture, in agro-processing, in renewable energy to power, our manufacturing, and in all other areas that are presented by this opportunity. And attendant to this also is the fact that our foreign direct investment has fallen in the last few years, stagnated at around $500 million US. Again, we have a very, very aggressive, some people call it crazy, ambition to raise that to $10 billion US by 2023 and maintain it there. And for those people who thought it was not possible, I think the fact today that we are starting off with $300 million of investment by United Green shows that we are firmly in that cause. And we're going to see and hear of a lot of announcements, and we welcome you also to join that opportunity as we grow our foreign direct investment. So we are going to do our part. We are going to create a conducive environment for your investment. We are going to hold your hands. We are going to end your frustrations. We are going to review our processes, our systems. We are going to review our policies. We are having a shift in our taxation policy, a number of them that President William Ruto is going to announce next week on the sidelines of the AmCham meeting in Nairobi. Very radical, very bold policy shift on the issue of tax reform and indeed the entire business environment. And all these factors point to one thing, that indeed Kenya is really open for business, and you cannot be left behind. When we talk about Kenya, we're not just talking about Kenya. We are talking about a region that is integrating very quickly. Kenya is a member of the East African community that brings together 7 countries: Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, South Sudan, DRC, Rwanda, and Burundi. 250 million people there, and also part of COMESA, 350 million people there. But one of the amazing things that we are doing also is because of the multiplicity of the trading blocks of the South African Development Corporation, SADC, the East African Community, and COMESA. We are now working on the tripartite free trade agreement that will bring together SADC, COMESA, and the EAC into one trading bloc from Cape to Cairo, 28 countries, 750 million people, $1.8 trillion dollars of GDP into one market. And all this is to form a critical, a stepping stone as we move to the 1.3 billion people, 2.5 billion by 2050 in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Just next month, I am going to host all the trade ministers of Africa, all the 54 trade ministers of Africa, for a session to develop now the implementation matrix for the AfCFTA. And Kenya is going to be the gateway of this particular market. So when you are look at Kenya, you're not just looking at investing in Kenya, you're also looking at accessing, using Kenya as a gateway, as a stepping stone to this wider market that you're developing. As I said yesterday in some other forum here in London, in this world, given that the potential for growth, the biggest potential exists in Africa, we are only going to have 2 categories of businesses. The first category of business are businesses which are operating in Africa. And the second category of businesses are extinct businesses that are going to be driven to extinction, and businesses that are not going to be growing. So really we have an option, we have a choice to choose. Do we want to be part of the growing market of 1.3 billion people, of 2.5 billion by 2050, or do we want to be stagnating businesses that are going to be left behind in the annals of history? So let me take this opportunity to thank you all for turning up today, and we are here to answer your questions. It is unimaginable how the government of Kenya is running today, because to signal, to show you how serious we are with this drive towards attracting investment. I have come here with a very huge delegation. The entire government of Kenya is here. Maybe I should ask my delegation, who are here, the principal secretaries, just to stand up to, if you could stand up PSs, just for introduction. PS Hari Kumtai is a PS in charge of livestock. PS Abubakar Hassan, PS in charge of investment promotion. PS Alex Washira in charge of energy. PS James Mohati in charge of economic planning. PS Betsy Mudhoni in charge of blue economy. And PS Abdi Dubat in charge of the East African Cooperation, and a host of other CEOs and chairs of the board. We have got chair of the Kenya Development Corporation out there. We have got the CEO of the Kenya National Trading Corporation, our export house, and also we have got the CEO, June, and the chair of the Kenya Investment Authority. So at some point, we are happy to, you may be seated, ladies and gentlemen. We are happy to mingle with you and to interact with you, but at some point, and we want to answer your questions, but at some point you release us in the next few days, because as you can see, we have crossed the government of Kenya to come here and show you exactly how seriously we take this relationship, and to work with you, to welcome your businesses to Kenya to take this opportunity. Let me end up by saying that the agreement that we have signed today is historic. And the Western region and the Lake Victoria region is going to, it will never be the same again. I want to thank United Green and assure you that I am actually the guarantor of the success of this project. And I will do whatever it takes to make this project work. Professor, if you make it possible for me, I want to visit this project twice a week, every Monday and every Thursday. If only you make it possible for me, that I'll be able to come and visit this project every Monday and every Thursday. I'll make sure this project works. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.